Hi, my name is Heather Abbott, and joining me today is Ruth Loh, Sue Gruber, Barb Satterwhite, and Madeline Zaworski, all Team Kaizen winners. And we're going to get a good action plan from them on why you want to go Team Kaizen and how to actually achieve that. So the first question I want to pose to you, Ruth, is why is Team Kaizen important to you?
That's a great question, Heather. So for me, it gave me a business plan because, being an accountant and all, I just needed a game plan, and shooting for Team Kaizen laid it all out for me. And so it was a tool that I could use to grow my business and plan for it. And to me, that planning process is really important. So going for Team Kaizen really was going to grow my team and my sales group. And then Team Kaizen just became a bonus at the end. So for me, it was a great way to just figure out how to plan for it and grow my business.
Team Kaizen, it was a challenge. I felt like it would be an honor. And I also felt it was very doable. So I was one of the people who got to go to Italy. And that trip was so amazing and just really got me excited about the benefits and the things that would be so much more possible being part of Team Kaizen. So it was a way to improve our business. I am always striving to get better, and achieving Team Kaizen would accomplish that also. So it was just something that I really wanted to do.
Well, for me, Team Kaizen meant, it was kind of like Goose said, it's kind of a challenge and a contest, but what I really loved about it and why I wanted to do it was the trip was an incentive, but more importantly, it was for me to show that I could do it and then show my downline. So it was really a great pathway, and it really laid out how much I should be doing every month and how I can do that. So that's what it was for me. And I really wanted to, it was a challenge, but at the same time, I wanted to set an example for my team.
Similar to Barb, that was my reason. I have won trip incentives previously and didn't win the first two trip incentives. And it was a part of another mastermind team, the Alliance to Royal team. And watching Ruth with her benchmarking with numbers and listening to what others were doing, which I feel is what Team Kaizen is. When you meet together as a team, it is another mastermind team that affords us the humans being and becoming more training. So if I'm expecting that of future leaders, then I felt I should model that myself. And Heather, I really want to thank you, because I remember you asking me that question, and it made me think about that so that it was more clear to me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Madeline. So my next question, and we'll start with you, Ruth, is what did you do last year to achieve Team Kaizen?
So because I am a numbers person, I had to go and set everything out. I had an annual goal, a quarterly goal, monthly goal, a weekly goal, and a daily goal. And I have a whiteboard that has all that information on here. And so for us, we sat down and we looked at the business plan, which is the incentive plan. And we said, okay, we want to achieve Club KI every quarter. Well, we only did 3 quarters out of the 4 quarters last year. And then we said we wanted to grow our customer base by at least 10%. And that was our goal. And we ended up growing it by almost 20%. And then one of the things we decided to do is, okay, we're going to set 5 appointments a week, because I'm very much a numbers person. So, and we did at least 5, sometimes a few more per week. And then we planned on our PGPV. And we decided, well, when we do Club KI, we are going to be doing 4,000 per month PGPV. So that was our goal. And we did last year, 6 months out of the 12 months, we were at 4,000 and over. But that was our goal. That was our stretch. And that's what we did last year to achieve Team Kaizen.
Yes, I love the incentive program. When that was given to us, it's been a couple years now, it made total sense to me. And it was my stepping stone, or our stepping stone, to get to Team Kaizen. So every new person that came into our team, we always started with the power start. It's we would give them the reasons for it, what it would do for their business. It would help build a strong business. And the whole incentive program just made so much sense to us. And so that was our business plan. Whoever came into the team, let's do the Power Start. Club Ki for us was I just wanted to achieve Club Ki every quarter. We did, like Ruth, it was a numbers thing. We broke it down. We knew how much we had to end up with at the end of the year. So we just backed that up. Okay, so we need this much quarterly, we need this much monthly, and we kept track of our numbers. And we train our team members to do the same. We try to help them understand what it is all about, what it will do for them, how it will help them achieve their goals. And it was just a matter of following the incentive program. It was, I think it's genius. Everything about it helps you move up the compensation plan. If you want to advance your rank, it just is it's a genius plan. Follow the incentive plan and you will achieve what you want to achieve.
The first thing I wanted to do was know the requirements. And I think where a lot of people are in the downfall is they wait till maybe 6 months into it and go, oh, I think I should be doing Team Kaizen. Well, if you look at it before January and know exactly what you need to do, then you map it out. Like Ruth says, you divide what you might need to do for each month and have some goals along those lines. So knowing it clearly up front is what I did. And I had the intention, it was 45th anniversary going to be in New York City. I wanted to be there, and why not win it? And that means that if I'm doing that, then there's a growth in my group. So that was one of the main things. So back then, that was 2019. So obviously we were able to do things. So we did things like in-homes weekly, and your constant one-on-ones that I would do, and not many Zoom calls in terms of recruiting, but the follow-up with customers. That's so important, and keeping in touch with them. So I think, and Club Ki, I did the same thing. I figured out if I can get Club Ki, well, I got it 3/4 out of the 4th in 2019 as well. But it really gave you a good parameter. And if you have that intention from the day go, then you map out what you want to do and decide what your action is going to be every week. And we also did weekly team calls, so that kept people going.
Well, I'd like to dovetail into that. We have Ladies Leading Ladies. We had a 30th anniversary in the United States in San Diego. So it happened that in 2019 that I won Club Ki in the beginning of the year, the first quarter. And then between San Diego and then the exciting opportunity to go to Italy, and then I was planning another trip to Europe as soon as I came back to Italy, I thought, well, how can I keep this momentum up? So the second quarter, similar to Barb, I didn't have Club Ki. But after that trip to Italy, a decision, I always think I make that decision. We talk about the decision, but until that decision is made, and you really do what Ruth Loh does, with benchmarking weekly and monthly and measuring. Coming back from Italy, even though I was leaving for another trip abroad, I made the decision and had an accountability partner in both Barb, and Sue lives close to me. Sue's the top retailer, so I wanted to learn everything that I could from her. Barb is so soft and flowing, and Ruth was always the number person. And so one of the things that I love about our new president is everybody, all of our individual unique charisms. We don't have to know everything. If we call and contact and leverage and duplicate the parts of what other people are doing that feels good with us, but keep our own personality. And so that type of being a part of Nikken Connect and the rhythm of the business, joining the weekly events, hearing what other people say, always opening oneself to new learning. The other thing I learned from the past is I wanted to enjoy Thanksgiving to Christmas. So I made sure that I had everything done before Thanksgiving. So then I actually slid back a little at the holidays because I just wanted to enjoy that. And I did it again this year as well. I'm ahead of schedule this year. Not that I'm going to stop.
All right. Thank you, Madeline. So the next question is, what have you changed in 2020 to achieve Team Kaizen?
Yeah, so for me, because I'm a numbers person, we re-looked at each of our goals for the year, for the quarter, for the month, for the week, for the day. And we upped our numbers because we were like, well, we did 4,000 PGB per month 6 times out of the year last year. So this year we need to up that a little bit. So we changed that to 5,000 PGPV per month. And so far we've done that 8 out of the past 10 months. So we're on track. Then we also wanted to grow our customer base by at least 20% because last year we did. And we're actually on track to grow probably closer to 25% by the end of this year. We also looked at achieving Club KI every quarter. We've already achieved the first 3 quarters. We are on track to finish it up by actually November for the 4th quarter. So we've just kind of upped our game a little bit from each of the things because we decided, what do we have to lose if we don't stretch ourselves? How are we going to grow? And it's about growing, right? And so, yeah, and then appointments per week, we were at about 5 to 6, and then we stretched ourselves to schedule anywhere between 8 and 10. So we have, yes, we've been pushing ourselves a little bit, but this is the amazing thing. And I think all of you will also notice that this year, it's a lot less stressful this year. It's been very enjoyable. And because we've got a track, we know what to follow, and we're just doing our daily things every day. We're consistent and we're persistent. And that's what our business is like. So there's a lot less stress this year to earning everything that we've earned up to now. So that's been fabulous. Thanks.
Yes, we had to change the way we were doing business. We have been very involved in networking and going to group things and talking to people. My business model was doing a lot of one-on-ones. I kind of enjoy those more than big group meetings, but I'd also be a speaker at somebody's event or different clubs and groups around the community. And of course, all that had to stop. So we had to focus more on what we could do from home. And of course, all the video conferencing, that's just kind of exploded. So everything went from, and the community groups that we're part of, they went to virtual also. So that just kind of happened. But I also focused more on making sure my follow-up, I was getting the follow-up in there. And we have a lot of customers. We probably add anywhere from 10 to 20 new customers a month. And keeping track of that can be overwhelming. It's so easy to have someone slip through the cracks. So we developed a postcard system that I, have scheduled into my monthly activities, and I send out postcards to new people. I've developed a system for follow-up on filter replacements. When I heard Louise say that there was like a couple $1 million worth of filter replacements that were just let go because nobody did the follow-up on those, I thought, oh my gosh, I want that, So we developed a filter replacement follow-up system. And then, maybe somebody else will bring this up, but we also heard about an app that helps you with your follow-up.
Contact mapping.
Yes, well, the name of the app is Contact Mapping. But learning about that and getting that ready to go and set up, which was really much, much easier than anything else I ever looked at. It's been a blessing. It's been just really a godsend for keeping track and not losing track of people and following up. And, we've just had to develop those kind of things since we can't do the one-on-one, we're doing more phone calls. It's just those kind of things that we have had to get better at in order to keep the business going.
And it really was a different year because of COVID. And what we started doing right off the bat, the team started creating videos. And we did our Happy Hydration Hour, we did our Home Health Tour, our Essential Toolkit. And those have been so much fun because it's energized us and we've enjoyed doing it. Plus we have a resource of videos because of it. So that I feel like this year, our team energy and our team collaboration and our team excitement is greater than it's ever been. So there's some good things about having to be home. And it also stretched those of us that quote, didn't do a whole lot with videoing and whatnot. So that was a big thing for us. And then customers so important, as Sue said. And I have some very clear, at least 3 or 4 that I love them. I mean, I love them all, but these 3, and they're all in their 80s, and I love contacting them. And I would, every other month, if I didn't hear from them, I'd contact them, we'd go to lunch. Anyway, it's just, and I get referrals every time I do that. So keeping up with those good customers was another biggie. And Club Ki, I've done that 3 quarters so far and plan to do the 4th this year. So again, that's another little, again, it's a strategy that's out there that helps you at least have some figures. And I'm like you, Ruth, I up the ante. It's like, I don't want just 4,000 a month. So, and then communication, I started MailChimp this year, and then the contact mapping, which we just got into, is phenomenal for the follow-up. So the other thing is we review as a team the Power of Awareness book, and we do 1 little page, a chapter each week practically. And it's so valuable because it helps the mindset, because quite honestly, all of this is a mindset to begin with. And so that's what we've done differently this year.
Well, Barb and I have been accountability partners, and we both looked at the future, and different than some of our other colleagues being interviewed here today, we've been in our communities and we've been relationshipping for a long time in our communities and with healthcare people that we know. So finding contacts has never been the problem. Following up with them, keeping the relationships going. So I focus there, and being close to Sue and all the way the future is going with online, what I decided to do, similar to nurse staffing, there's recruitment, but then training and retention. So retention and turnover is always the problem. So I looked at what I did last year and the year before, the new enrollments that I had, and the duplication and what ages. So the enrollment and the marketing and exposure, looking for younger people and their children for the legacy business, because my goal, and I've heard myself saying it so many times in the past few years, is really to attract and to mentor the next generation, to help that legacy move on, so that all of those that want to do all the Heather pushed us a lot with those of us that weren't as skilled as she is, and that's quite a few of us on 45-second videos. I haven't mastered that yet, but in doing what I did do, what I realized is what I would rather, what I'm good at and what I love. Oops, sorry. And so in doing that, I have recruited those who are interested in looking at their future and their children, and I have learned so much from them. My new 11S that I'm still working on learning more of the features and the benefits, and again from the others that are here. So what I would say is to stay connected, to really stay connected. The Nikken leadership team is so critical, and we learn so much from one another, having swim buddies, so to speak. So that's what I did differently this year. Did some evaluation of last year and projected ahead to the future. And I know that's Heather's next question.
It is my next question. So what is your 5-year plan? Ruth, if you'll kick it off, please.
So for us, being forced to look 5 years forward has been a real shift for us, because we were always focusing quarter by quarter by quarter, and then what we're going to do this year, and then what are we going to do next year, and that was it. It stopped after next year. And so now having this 5-year challenge or opportunity to look ahead, it has really, we've actually decided to look at other things besides our own PGPV, which is important, but to really spend time in growing our support teams and really growing our OV, because that's really important. And we also decided to look at different processes and how to implement them and get some efficiency. So Sue and Barb talked about the CRM. So CRM stands for Contact Relationship Management, and it's a way of keeping track of all your contacts. And we really were lacking that in our business. So I'm just speaking for myself. And so this year we're looking at contact mapping. I'm looking at some other things and looking at ways to be more efficient. And that's really important to us. And also we decided that we needed to have something that was spread out, over 5 years gives us some stability. And it's not like we're just rushing to get things done. So one of the things we are looking at is, okay, let's look at the whole big picture for year to year to year. When I was in corporate, we always did 5-year forecasts, 3-year forecasts, and that was not unusual. But then I got out of corporate and never really looked at that. And so I'm really thrilled that we have this opportunity to go and look at the 5-year plan now. And so what we are looking at is growing our team, having additional learnings from ourselves, gain efficiencies, but also training, right? My mother used to say, if you're not growing, you're dying. So I definitely want to be growing because I want to be living. So that's what we're doing for the next 5 years, is really looking at things and processes to make ourselves more efficient and to grow.
For us, it's kind of daunting. 5 years is like, oh my gosh, sometimes I feel overwhelmed with what I'm doing right now. So my goal is to streamline. I need to streamline. I'm still learning. I do so many different things. I do social media and email marketing and all this stuff. And I feel like I need to streamline all those things and just learn how to make them work the best. I want to grow organically. Okay. I want to learn the attraction marketing, where people are coming to me and I'm not chasing them. There's just so many things, and I want to be global. I think the opportunity is going to be upon us very soon, that we are going to be able to easily reach globally and be able to connect with people who want our products and need our products. So seriously, being a retired nurse, my main reason for getting into Nikken was I just was so tired of watching the world get sicker and sicker. And, we were part of that. Nikken changed everything for us. And I want that for the world. We have to share this information with the world. I truly believe that we can change the health of the world. I really do. And so my goal for the next 5 years is to learn how to do that effectively and efficiently. And, I'm connected to so many wonderful mentors and to so many great mastermind groups. I know that it can be done, and it's just a matter of, staying the course, taking the opportunity to learn different things and to educate myself, and to just keep the ball rolling. That's what I want to do, keep the ball rolling.
Well, for me, I loved Nikken's vision for the 2025 was the most influential global wellness community in the world. So that next week, I decided on our team meeting, we need to figure out what our team vision is for 2025. And so we came up with, at least we're in the process, but this is how we started, with the most influential cross-line team in Nikken by 2025. So then I had to break it down to what I want in 2025. Well, guess what? I'm 74. In 5 years, I'll be 79. I had to think about this, like, what do I really want in 5 years? So what I want and what my vision is to have independent global teams with 1,000 wellness subscriptions. So that's my 5-year goal. So then we backed it up to, okay, what do we want to do for 2021? And we came up with some team things. And for me, I'm still thinking about it. Obviously, mainly it's to grow relationships and the promoting HBM, because I think that's something, because it's online now, it's easier to do. And like I said before, the mind is one of the most important things in this whole game. So that's where I really want to stress that. And then something else I was going to tell you about, but the main thing is that to work more efficiently, like Sue said, and I really, really believe come the new year, Nikken will be providing us with some more tools as well. So I think the more we get that, then we can hone all these skills that we have and do better. That's my plan.
Well, my first year in Nikken, which was 1998, I won the incentive global trip to Japan. I sat in the front row and I caught the global vision. I mean, that entire event, I fast tracked to win the trip, and thinking I could save a marriage. Well, that didn't work, but I went there. And so I just thought, oh my God, there's something to be said about all out massive action, and you don't have to know everything. You learn by doing. That's how I learned nursing. But I caught that vision. This year, like Barb, I wanted to go to the Big Apple, not because of New York City, but to be a part of the 45th celebration. And little did I think that just a couple of weeks ago, watching it virtually, when that 5-year plan was unfolded, and we had the visionary talking about fast tracking, the next 10 years now is in the next 5 years, what just happened because of COVID. I thought, oh my God. So I pulled out a lot of my old life cycle charts. And there's really nothing different from my original vision. It was a legacy business. And my family now is my Nikken family, my birth family, or whatever family I wasn't interested. So my goal in 5 years, similar to Barb, my goal is to have such a viable business that I will have by then identified a successor. So first 2 years, my own IT skills and social media and so forth, learning from those that I'm bringing in, and coursework. Continuing education is lifelong. Sorting for and then mentoring. I want I will build a strong enough organization that the successor, so it's successorship at this point. Because for me, I have no children. There's no one to care. Both parents were from a family of 8, but there's nobody to carry either family name. So I've created a Casula Melvin Family Foundation. So the successor for my organization, like Barb, I'll be 78, and I want to go down to visit her at her place at the Nag's Head in the summertime and still keep the organization going. We're going to work, but we're not going to work. We're going to be much smarter and streamlined, like Barb, like Sue has spoken about. But to be able to then be a significant part with a successor that truly can keep the legacy going into the future. And all the successor of mine would have to do is make a tax-deductible donation for a certain number of years into the future for that family foundation. So the last tip that I'd like to leave, we have an amazing company with almost a 46-year history, and with a real need for those that are under 78 and 79 5 years from now. Not that we're not going to play a key role in mentoring and helping to keep that legacy going. So for those of you that are listening, this is so huge.